Does it look better like this or like this? Welcome back. And look at that. Right on time as usual. Listen, I've got a little confession to make. Sometimes the content we look at on this channel isn't always something that people haven't already looked at. Nobody's talked about this one yet. I've got like a little sneaky treat for you. And maybe no one's talked about it because it's not interesting and I'm just gonna make a bad video, but I find this fascinating and I hope that you do too. So today we're talking about Drezzdon. It's not the name of the aesthetic. I don't think the aesthetic has a name yet, but this is the only person currently doing it and it's like kind of been blowing up over the last couple months. So let's just jump right into looking at it. I know you're excited, but calm down. I don't even know which one to start with. So what is this? Something feels wrong about this. If angels don't exist, explain this. We can change our past mistakes. A soul, a way out. What was this text over here? Light counter 2000? Dang, that's crazy. Let's shake it up this video, and this time you explain to me what the heck is happening, because putting this into words gonna be a little tough for me. There are people in the comments who claim that they get this. I mean, except for this person. They don't understand. They're with me. Does it feel good to be alone? Rotation. Where were you? Life rating. I was here. Ew, bugs. All right, explain it to me. What is this? This page has almost 360,000 followers on Instagram and 105,000-ish on TikTok, which is actually weird that they're smaller on TikTok than Instagram. I feel like that never happens. That's probably why I haven't seen any other YouTubers talk about this yet, because it hasn't hit them on TikTok yet. Joke's on them. I actually have no idea how I found this. Their YouTube page only has 263, sorry. And they call their aesthetic Control Core Wall Hack Art. Interesting. That makes me more confused because I feel like I can almost get it until that description. Then I'm like, okay, wall hacks like in a game. The videos are really well edited. Like there's a lot of great tracking that's almost just satisfying to watch. The motion tracking on everything is flawless. It looks so good. I don't think this would be that interesting if it wasn't for the comments. The comments are people being like, this is how my brain works. I don't know how to explain it, but this is how I see the world. This is how you see the world? You see snow and you think the stars are falling? You see a fire hydrant and you think it needs to speak? You see footsteps in the snow and you think, this path is warm? My ADHD when I'm walking by myself. I identify with these videos. No, sorry. I identify as these videos. I don't know. This strikes me as unusual. This feels more like how an AI would see the world. Like an AI that thinks it's human, you know? Where it's like almost human thoughts. You know, it's like calculating this person here. I don't even know what it's saying there. I don't know what this says. Our great leader? Yeah, see, all right, that counts for something. Please guide me home. The lights down there. What does it say down here? A hidden world? This feels like almost nonsense, but I think what makes it so interesting to me, hopefully to you too, is that it's not complete nonsense. So this is how it feels. The tallest point. Energy levels 55%. I'm dreaming the pathway. I think it's alive. Unity. This is making me feel like I'm going crazy a little bit. If there weren't such nonsense things mixed in, I would think this is like a representation of like, sort of like an OCD brain, because I don't have OCD in the traditional sense, so I can't speak on it. There's little things that feel like very edge of OCD, but I feel like everyone says they have OCD. I think we just have quirks. But like this, like my brain would notice that like, whoa, the cars are like lined up perfectly. That's crazy. But I wouldn't think this house needs you, or I think it's alive when looking at the sun. But I would look at these bricks down here and be amused by the patterns on them. I don't know if that's what these lines are trying to represent here, but I would be like, wow, look, it's a bunch of kind of uniform lines. Some of these just have so much going on that I can't even talk about it. Just take it in. Try to read all the little things. I mean, some of the text is too small and too like compressed to actually read, but maybe that's part of the fun. But this first video we looked at has over 1 million likes. I don't even know, dude. It seems like the weirdest thing to blow up. And this is only from like 2 weeks ago. So I'm sure people are gonna find this and there's gonna be some other videos about it and people will probably have better insight about it than me, but you're stuck with me today. Being bewildered by red squares and red text on just a standard video, that's what it's all about. Okay, we got some still images. Perfect. Gives me some time to think. Reminder, water. The system feels you. A dark spot. Nice. Satisfying lines here. Some lights. A way in. That window is open, maybe? When do you let go? A good question. I understand the everything. It speaks to me. A place where worlds meet. It goes so fast, dude. So I can't really explain 100% what this is, but I can explain how it got here. So this person's been making these for only a couple months. This is pretty new. They've been making these since like December. So this is hot off the griddle. It's only been catching an audience over the last couple weeks. When I tell you this is fresh out of the oven, I mean it. This person also has merch. They've got 3 songs on Amazon Music. I don't know if it's elsewhere. This is where it popped up for me. And they've been talking about how they're working on like a 10-minute long video. So they've got something good here. And I think that they know it and they're running with it. How did they come up with it though, you may ask? That's a good question. Their first post feels a lot more like dreamcore. We talked about that a little bit here. Weirdcore maybe. And then they started adding the red in there, the red lines and the red text. Pretty basic stuff, but still feels like something you would see elsewhere. Then they added the video element to it and the tracking element to it. Someone in the comments asks early on, was this inspired by Person of Interest? Iconic show, the visuals are just like it. To which the creator responds with a heart, which granted isn't really a confirmation, but if you're familiar with that show, it's got this like motion tracking, like reading people kind of thing, where lots of information pops up on the screen about the things it's analyzing, basically. So you can definitely see the inspiration there. It's likely that was at least early inspiration, but they've really gone hog wild with this concept. They've made it their own for sure. People in the comments asking, what core is this? Bro, it's not even a core yet. This is just one person making all this. The more comments I read about people being like, this dude really visualized how I interpret things and it's scary. This is how I see the world. They're so quirky that they see red squares around everything 24 hours a day. And that they see a green light on the ground and they're like, what is this? The beach? A reflection? Fairies? Watching these videos while in a psychotic episode to reinforce the fact that I'm not crazy and this is how the world is for everyone. Is this just like psychotic episode vision? Because I really feel like it can't be, right? I've never had a psychotic episode, so I really can't say. Like before I was reading the comments, where my brain went with this is that it was like AI learning. You know, it feels like Terminator vision, you know, like all the computery, sort of Person of Interest thing, but like through the eyes of like a machine, AI, android guy. It almost thinks like a person, but it's still like off, like it's just hasn't finished learning yet. So it's still like, whoa, are these fairies? Freaking something special is in here. You know, it's very like computery to me with all like the numbers calculating. It sees this green light up here reflecting off of the ceiling and it says Northern Lights. I'm like, yeah, you know, it resembles Northern Lights, but no person will be chilling at a gas station looking around being like, dude, I've always wanted to see Aurora Borealis, and here it is localized at my gas station. But that's how I feel about this, is it seems more like an AI. It reminds me of the image we saw of the coffee shop that they had like AI watching and calculating how much work the workers were getting so they could see who had like made the most drinks and stuff. It feels like that, with the squares kind of locking onto things and tracking what they're up to and making judgments about that thing based on the little context that this video gives us of what's happening. You know, like you see a bunch of square lights, but you don't know what a train is, so you think, oh, these all must be related, right? What are the chances that a bunch of glowing squares would fly by? That can't be a coincidence. Where are all the glowing squares going? And why am I not invited? Bro, I hope people don't see like this. It's possible that it's not supposed to be any one thing. I think maybe it being sort of vague is the point. I feel like the videos are cool, and I think they're a cool like aesthetic or something. It's a cool idea. But the comments are what's really weirding me out. Are people actually relating to this in such a big way? This video has 113,000 likes, and it's not even one of the biggest posts. What's going on here? She saw me. I'm ready to leave. Mistakes. Just like stars in the sky? They're lying to you. Who's lying to me? What are all these little lines and circles? What's this up here? Oh, it's a tree. See, here we go. On this one, they just put weird core, I don't know what that is, strange core, and control core. So to me, it seems like what their intention is kind of marrying the person of interest kind of computer tracking thing with weird core, is what it feels like to me. But I think that it blew up for them so much because there's a lot of people that are, for whatever reason, super relating to this, which I would love to have an expert on like the human brain and different disorders and things to come along and tell me if there's any like legitimacy to that. It seemed like the biggest thing you can get out of this to relate to is that there's like sort of an overactive pattern recognition. Like I can get that, but that doesn't seem like the intent. I think that's what's weirding me out. I don't think that is what this person means, but I can't say, I don't really know. If they're tagging it as weird core and control core, which control as in the control button on a keyboard, it's like weird core plus computer core. And I think that's all it is. But the comments, man, this is touching for real. This is so inspiring in such a unique way. Is it? I feel like it's something. It's cool, it's interesting. But the fact that some of the top comments are people saying that this is like inspiring, or they totally get it, or this is exactly how they see the world, this is touching, I think that's more interesting to me. Something about these videos is so comforting. The videos themselves are really cool. Like I really like them. Again, the motion tracking is really satisfying, although 129 centimeters, that's like 50 inches. That's like just over 4 feet. That is one low ceiling. This is one tiny man. Yeah, I think you should go left to reality. And also, I don't think this is safe. I'm just saying, without really knowing, I just don't think that that is safe. I know it says it's safe, but if you're calculating the floor to ceiling to be 4 feet, then I don't know if I trust your judgment on a dark tunnel being safe or not. I like this comment though. What are you trying to do with these videos? It's like, what are you trying to do here? They're just like me. They're like, you're definitely not making these videos on accident. This is taking you a lot of work. But what are you trying to do? Someone just explain it to me in plain English, please. What's happening here? Maybe this is extra cool because everyone has such a different interpretation of it. Like, obviously I'm just spitballing here. I really don't know. I've seen like 5 or so different takes on what this is, and then I have my own. Maybe that's why it's interesting. But this is very computer-like, right? I mean, it's showing resolution, FPS, cam ID, playback speed. Like, it's definitely not meant to be a lot of the things people are thinking it is. I wonder if it feels funny to them that they blew up with this so much, because it's blowing up for like all sorts of reasons that maybe they couldn't have foreseen, where it's like, I'm gonna make this cool, like weird core kind of like tracking person of interest aesthetic videos. And then people are like, bro, this is exactly how I see the world. You know, they spend hours like working on these crazy videos. Let's have it track all the raindrops. Let's have it say something weird like, where are they? I loved every minute here with you. Initializing. This house is full of life. He's coming. Oh, we'll just have it say high voltage on the power line. What type of shadow is this in the water? Let's highlight the car and have it say car. You know, they're making like this perfectly weird core thing. They post it and then the comments are like, bro, this is exactly how I see the world. This is me for real. They probably were not expecting the response they got. I mean, look at this. This one right here that we just watched, 350,000 likes since a couple months ago. And this is on a fresh account. This account has not been posting forever. This is like a couple month old account. Like, this is just a weird core image. Like, this is something you'd see on the weird core subreddit. 12 weeks ago, thank you for 20,000 followers. They got 360 now in 3 months. Your art is literally how I see the world. It perfectly describes how I feel. This is how you see the world? The void? Squares on every leaf? X-ray vision on car windows? Stars leading down the road? I stare at nothing and wonder, heart, heart. 6? That way? 7? That way? This hit different on a personal level. I don't know. Now, I'm a little hesitant to knock people relating to this too hard, because this could very well be something that, for whatever reason, possibly unintentionally lines up with some mental disorders. But I also just know that comment sections are such baloney, so I can't decide if it's just people being like, this is like me for real. There's someone saying that on every post ever. So I don't know if people are being serious, if they're just kind of exaggerating, because like, I like this. This is satisfying for me to look at in a weird sort of way. Like, I get that it's interesting, right? Like, I'm not saying that this makes 0 sense to me. Like, I like the tracking and the pointing out details. And sure, like when I look out at the street or whatever, I am looking around and noticing things. But like, it's normal to do that. You look outside the window and you're like, okay, there's a car driving by, there's a bird, That bird's going kind of fast. You know, man, what a nice night outside. Look at all those stars. But if you're seeing it like this, that's not normal. Like if this is how you see the world, this is not because you're quirky. This is a little more advanced than just being a little quirky, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. My mind works like this. It's weird that someone's just like me. Your mind works like this? Anyway, I don't know what else there is to say about this. Go check out Drezzdon if you want to see more. It sounds like they got a lot of cool projects coming up. There's more stuff that I want to check out too. I just saw this and I wanted to jump on it because it was just bewildering me. Every time I would look at the comments and watch the videos, I was just flabbergasted. So yeah, hopefully this was interesting to you too, not just me. But thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Yeah. Bye.